All right, what's up, guys? So Ubisoft has uploaded so this is pretty much like a trailer. Not really a trailer, but it's kind of showing us what is going to be involved in the Division 2 DLC Battle for Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm curious about this DLC, but at the same time I'm curious to see what new things they are going to add to the division cuz I don't know, like I have been playing a little bit of the Division 2. But it just seems like that it's like every time when I play, I just find myself doing the same thing over and over again, going through the same missions and stuff. I just wish that they would add some new content. Like I know I've been talking on that for the longest. I'm like, bro, add some zombies into the game. I just feel like zombies in the division and bro, have it where it's kind of like that survival mode where it's like, yeah, it could be something along those lines where it's just you just got to see how long that you can survive and stuff. I don't know. Let's overall see what this update's gonna be all, or DLC is gonna be all about. But make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Ubisoft. Let's see if this is a DLC worth getting into.
Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Division 2 showcase. We have a lot in store for you today. So let's go.
Skull and Bones video
Year
was pretty
6
good,
has
so
truly
I'm curious
become
to
a
see
year
what
of
this one's gonna be
transformation
about.
where we've crafted an ever-evolving experience by making modifiers a core part of our seasonal framework.
With 3 distinct seasons throughout the year, each introduced significant changes to the endgame and our seasonal model.
As we look ahead to Year 7, we remain dedicated to pushing the game to new heights of accessibility for new players and engagement.
With only a few weeks remaining until the final climax mission of Year 6, let's take a sneak peek at what's in store for the upcoming Year 7.
Year 7 will focus on 3 main goals. With the constant influx of new players, improving and streamlining the onboarding process for new agents is more important than ever. We are also focused on adding more depth to the endgame, ensuring there is always something exciting to look forward to. Year 7 will solidify seasons as a cornerstone of the Division 2 experience. Our ambition is to increase the pace and situations, allowing for more regular updates and fresh experiences. Of course, seasons are not the only thing you can expect. During Year 7, we want to make the open world a more dynamic part of the endgame. For example, we're working on introducing an entirely new wrapper to open world activities that react to your actions while unlocking exotic blueprints farming to help you complete your arsenal. We're also focusing on the economy. More specifically, we have a package of revamps that will add more depth to the endgame progression, giving you more control over tinkering and item customization.
We aim to make Year 7 seasons a truly holistic experience by realigning the modifiers, gear, and gameplay with the narrative elements of the seasons, including the manhunt and climax.
Additionally, we want to leave room for your feedback. As we run a live game, we do our best to stay attuned to your needs and remain flexible to try to align our vision with your expectations.
We'll be sharing more updates over the course of the year, so you can look forward to more news and announcements each season.
In Year 7, you can look forward to a variety of in-game events, including XP multipliers as well as seasonal projects.
Additionally, exciting new features such as weapon stats and resource boost will be introduced.
Year 6 introduced one of the most anticipated quality of life updates, the stash space increase.
In Year 7, we'll continue expanding.
Oh, then here's the thing. I usually dismantle a lot of different stuff when I do get things. Like if it's like if it ain't like, because I know they do have it where there's like the like stuff like weapons that you could get where the name, I think it's like yellowed out or something, like not yellowed out, but it's like the color is yellow instead of white. I'll keep those weapons. I'll keep the like red like that like category of weapons. And what else? Possibly, yeah, it's like green. I'll keep the green like that, like it, because it's like what it's, because they have like, I think this gray, and then I think it's like a like green, which is like that common green, and then they got blue, which is rare, yellow, where it's like not all that rare, but it's like, oh, okay, cool, like I got that. And then I think it's like the like that like last, like it's green, but it ain't like that common green. It's like a different color of green and stuff, like a grass green. But and then it's like red. So it's like usually them are like the 3 areas, them like last 3 category of weapons that I usually get into. I'll keep those on me. But there's never been a time where I've had so much to where I had to put them in the stash. So yeah, other than that, everything else I do dismantle, but it just doesn't seem like that they give you a lot of different weapons. Like, you could sit down and play this game for hours and you just still getting the same old, same old. So I don't know, maybe I just gotta like up the difficulty, but it's like the times where I have played it on a higher difficulty, still I get the same old, same old. It's not like I get things that's like worth getting or getting into and stuff. But anyway,
slash space, along with the Battle for Brooklyn DLC.
Talking about the DLC, today we are thrilled to bring you an in-depth look at Battle for Brooklyn. Battle for Brooklyn expands the Division franchise with a gripping new story. Whether you're a veteran eager to dive deeper into the narrative or completely new to the franchise, the DLC has something for everyone.
Yeah, that's why I've been just kind of, because like, no, I am a fan of the Division, and that's one thing that I have been working on is a like my own like fan fiction story where I haven't really explained it just yet, but it is taking place in Seattle, but it's kind of like an origin story to like show how it all started, and then showcasing how like the rogue agents, how they all got started. So yeah, it's like I have been kind of coming up with my own little story and things. I'm like, man, you know, it would be nice if like whether it's picked up in a video game or in a movie. I'm like, I gotta have a part though. I'm like, if it like my story gets picked up, I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta have a part. I'm like, whether I'm the main character or do like some Stephen King stuff, and I'm like, I just put down the newspaper. I'm like, oh, weapons is over there. They flip it back up at things, but I'm like, I got to have my part and stuff. But anyways, I'm like, just had to throw that out there real quick. Nah, because it's like, it seems like that so much can be talked about with the Division just wherever it goes. Like, you do like a Division Seattle, Division Africa, Division UK, the Division Paris. Like, there's just so many different stories that can be told, but anyways.
Players can explore post-pandemic New York in the fall, navigating iconic Brooklyn neighborhoods. You can tackle the new challenges solo or in co-op, making this DLC exciting for everyone. Let's take a look at what awaits agents in Brooklyn.
Battle for Brooklyn is set in the faithfully recreated Brooklyn neighborhoods of Brooklyn Heights and Dumbo, including some familiar areas for the Division 1 players, as well as some new areas never explored in the franchise.
Main missions take place off-site to allow
New York, it was the when they did add New York into the Division 2, it was small, bro. Like, comparing it to the Division 1's New York, yeah, bro. I mean, they had Hell's Kitchen, then they have Brooklyn in there too. Like, yeah, they had a lot of different areas in the Division 1. And I mean, they did do the same thing with Washington D.C., but when they added New York, I was like, bro, this ain't the New York I remember. I'm like, this is different. This is exactly different. But
offer a greater bespoke story experience on your first playthrough.
And the traditional side missions are replaced by replayable missions you can access from the open world.
To experience everything that Battle for Brooklyn has to offer, it will take approximately 6 to 10 hours, especially if you want to discover all the activities we have prepared for you, including 4 control points, 12 living world activities, 10 bounty locations, 8 hunter readers, and a new set of collectible bounties.
We're going back to Brooklyn because sometimes you need to go back to where you started to see how far you've come. A lot's happened in Brooklyn since the prologue of Division 1. People have moved over, trying to escape the chaos of Manhattan, and they're looking to build a new life, make a change. Coming to Brooklyn in the fall is absolutely significant to our story. It helps us show the passage of time and our characters' and players' evolution as we approach the 1-year anniversary of activation.
To bring autumn to the Division 2, we had to investigate firstly the vegetation and the weather. Via the foliage, we are dressing the city in warm autumn colors. For the weather, we have crafted something specific to Brooklyn. We went for a mix of warm weather with cold and light, and of course, something moodier to try to capture the autumnal contrasts. For Washington Street, the iconic starting area in the Division 1 overlooking Manhattan Bridge, we wanted it to still feel familiar to the players, but also really show at a glance how time has passed and hint to what might have happened in the meantime.
The bridge is the heart of Brooklyn, and the people there have pulled talent and resources that our hostile factions would like to acquire. There, you'll be tasked with protecting the people who built the settlement. Some of the characters you'll meet at the bridge throughout the campaign are familiar faces like Theo Parnell and Dr. Candle, and a brand new face that we've really only heard her voice, Agent Hoskins.
When taking Candle from Division 1 to Division 2, we wanted to show that some time has passed. She's still wearing her same old ID badge, but it's now more worn and has some wear to it. And my colleague Marie's ID badge here at Massive actually proved as a perfect reference for this because it has seen some better days. When designing Melanie Hoskins, we wanted to make sure that you can recognize some of her backstory and her character design. So we gave her a very cute bracelet that says Mom that she wears that were made by her 4-year-old son Freddie. And throughout Brooklyn, we've hidden all these character backstories in their character designs.
The settlement evolves throughout the campaign in multiple stages. What we wanted to capture here is the feeling of community coming together, building and protecting themselves. Brooklyn was hit by the hurricane alongside Manhattan, only here things happened a bit differently. For some areas, the people in Brooklyn have come together to protect the shoreline from the hurricane, so its impact on the city has not been the same as in Manhattan. Moreover, the community has also started cleaning up after the storm. People in Brooklyn strive to rebuild their lives. They are looking into covering their base necessities in terms of food and water, so they are using the available space inside the city to do so, including the rooftops.
In the DLC, players will actually be facing an enemy that they are usually used to, or that they have been fighting already, and that's the cleaners. But there's a special twist on those cleaners, because they actually have a new weapon, which is what we call the Purple Flame. People might be familiar with the idea of the Purple Flame. Those who have played the Incursion, the Mirror Estate, they might have seen that already. This is something we introduced back then. But in this DLC, in Battle for Brooklyn, the cleaners have been able to find ways to mass produce this weapon, and this is really their main way of bringing destruction. This is how they've launched the assault on Brooklyn now, using that new weapon to really try to erase Brooklyn from the map. So as an agent, you have to go there, not just face the cleaners as you know them, but face the cleaners with that extra level of threat and of danger because of the Purple Flame.
I'm like, whoever that person was, they need assistance. I'm like, nah. The thing is this, the funny thing about when you do that, I guess for somebody that's never played the Division, you call for allies, you'll kill everybody there, then that's when the allies show up. And it's like, where were y'all at? And I'm like, what was you guys doing? Like, you guys are like, oh, let me hurry up, finish up my food real quick, and then go help you out. I'm like, fam, I need assistance. Help me, all right? Just please show up on time. You see the flare, that's where you guys need to just be hauling it to this to the location.
And what this means basically is there is a new effect that is added to the usual fire effect you would get from the cleaners. Every time you face a cleaner that uses Purple Flame, you're not only going to be set on fire, but we're also adding a corrosion effect. And this corrosion, what it does is it's basically reducing your max armor. So the longer you engage in a fight against cleaners with Purple Flame, the lower your armor gets. And even if you use armor kits, even if you try to heal, you're only going to be able to go as high as what your new maximum is. And that maximum keeps decreasing the longer you fight them. And of course, this is part of our story. This is part of why the cleaners are coming to Brooklyn, or why you need to go there and stop them, because it's an unusual threat. It's something that even the civilians in Brooklyn are not used to. We're going to have to find out, how did they produce it? Where are they producing it?
Because it was like, I think that was a part of it's like them like missions that require, I think it's like it requires like other people's help, like because you can play the Division by yourself. Like I played both 1 and 2 by myself, except when you have to like do those missions where it requires like other people. Like you can't do the mission, like you can, but it's going to be a little bit challenging. So it's one of those missions that requires like other people's assistance, like actual players' assistance.
And how did they get all the supplies they need to actually be able to mass produce this new weapon?
No Division story would be complete without the hunters. In Brooklyn, we have 8 new riddles and 8 masks that you can unlock, if you're willing to take on the challenge.
For the Brooklyn hunters, we wanted their uniforms to actually match their mask designs a bit more than they usually do, and that will also echo into the game design of the puzzles that unlocks them. We wanted to create a cohesive theme.
I'm like, they know fashion. I'm like, yeah, where's their job applications at? I'm like, I ain't here for the negative stuff. I just want one of them outfits.
While maintaining the amazing classic hunter look.
Control points are a big part of the open world. With Brooklyn, we've taken them one step further. Based on faction ownership, players can expect a different challenge every time they encounter the same control points. Each hostile faction has its own unique ingredients. The cleaners have the Purple Flame, while the Rikers also have some surprises up their sleeve. Players can expect to encounter those new ingredients in every control point in Brooklyn. For players wanting a bigger challenge, increasing the global difficulty will also have an impact on the amount of ingredients that they encounter in the control points. Smart Cover returns in Battle for Brooklyn as a reimagined skill for PvE and PvP. Using the Smart Cover will reinforce cover, grant buffs to offense and defense, and enhance pulse resistance for all allies.
Players can choose between two variants, the Precision Smart Cover and the Fortified Smart Cover. Both variants have some stats tuned differently for PvP.
In the DLC, we have a new exotic mask called the Catalyst, and it's actually perfect against the cleaners as it gives bonus for dealing and receiving status effect damage. So while burning, you can maintain ADS without disruption. When doing the effect for the Catalyst, we wanted to invoke the feeling of a dying fire. So when you move, the air stokes the fires, causing the mask to flare up more and more the faster you go.
Oh, wow.
But when you stop, the fire slowly dies and only smoke remains.
Battle for Brooklyn launches on May 27, 2025. The DLC will be available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. For those of you who already own The Division 2, Battle for Brooklyn will be available as a standalone product for €14.99. The Battle for Brooklyn Deluxe DLC will also be available, including exclusive cosmetics. You can visit Ubisoft Store to see the options and wishlist the DLC. If you have friends who don't own the game yet, let them know that the DLC will also be available for new players in our new Gold Edition and Ultimate Edition, giving them immediate access to the main game, Warlords of New York expansion, and the Battle for Brooklyn DLC in May. No matter through which edition you decide to get the DLC, it comes with a level 40 boost, allowing you to jump right into the Battle for Brooklyn campaign, and 50 stash space slots, also accessible in the main game.
Working on the Division 2 DLC was an exciting challenge for us.
We're thrilled to be bringing players back to New York, and we can't wait for you to play the Battle for Brooklyn DLC.
Thank you for watching. Now, let's go where it all began. And don't forget to mark your calendars. The rendezvous is planned for May 27th. See you in Brooklyn, agents.
Yeah, I am going to end up buying it. That's I'm just trying to get through a bunch of other different games I'm playing at the moment. But yeah, I am gonna most likely buy Battle for Brooklyn. That's a game though where I'm like I've done had like a love-hate relationship with it. Like there's but that's just who I am. Like I rage on games. So it's not like it's something where I'm still going to be a fan of the Division, but it's like I still be having my issues, man. But no, yeah, that's what I was talking on earlier, was like right now, like a kind of like a prequel story where it like showcases, because it was like I have it where it's about like me and a friend of mine's, and she ends up like it's like the foundation and like the core, like not core, but like she's the reason why like rogue agents exist. And then my character just kind of like disappears for a little bit, but nobody didn't know, really didn't know what happened to him. So eventually I was gonna write it out to where it's like there's a bunch of different like just iconic, because I was gonna have it where it's at some point in time I wanted to have it where it's like all these different iconic characters that come together, because I was like I did go out and buy me some Tom Clancy books, and so it's like I wanted to have it where it's like it's all these characters come up together, and then eventually I was gonna write out like a Rainbow Six story just to kind of like pay respects to that like Tom Clancy franchise and stuff, but kind of have it where it's kind of like an Avengers thing, like everybody got like their own individual story, and then I just kind of like write it all together where it's like there's a greater threat. And I think that's what I might end up doing though, like a little side story where it's kind of like talking on the zombies, because I'm like, bro, we need to see zombies in the Division. I feel like it's been, I don't know, maybe if they do come out with Division 3, they might have like some zombie mode in there, but I'm like, bro, y'all gotta add zombies, okay? Like I think a lot of us remember that game the day before, and I was thinking like that's what that game was gonna be, like this, but with zombies. And then, but I felt like here's the thing, I just feel like that I do remember a time where you guys had teased something zombie related, but it was for the Division 1. I don't know. I feel like I remember a trailer where it seemed like that there was something zombie related. So yeah, man, I'm like, zombies could definitely happen in the Division. I'm like, I don't know exactly how it would fit into the story, and I guess I can understand why you haven't added it, but I'm like, bro, at least have it where it's like people can mod the game so we can have zombies. Like have like a Ubisoft workshop, or even if you wanted to add the Steam workshop, something. But I'm like, man, we gotta see zombies in this game, bro. So, but anyways, make sure if you guys haven't though, go subscribe to Ubisoft, like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.